welcome to another happy reading video. Today I have two books to tell you about. They are from the same author, illustrator, husband and wife team, and I thought I loved them both so much that I would just tell you about both of them. Why should I shortchange either one of them? So the first one is Ben Yokoyama and the Cookie of Doom, which is the first book in the Cookie Chronicles series. I had seen a lot of buzz about this series from other authors and readers that I trust, and I finally read it over the summer and loved it. I just read it straight through. I ignored my child, I ignored my husband, I ignored my dog. I just wanted to read this book. And then I found out that the same author and illustrator duo, Matthew Swanson and Robbi Behr, had written and illustrated this book, The Real McCoys. And this came out in 2017. And I thought, excuse me, why have I not read this yet? It should have been in my library when I was a librarian. So I got this from my library. Shout out to Waltham Library, woohoo, in Massachusetts, and devoured this one. I thought it was hilarious. This one was a mystery, and the main girl protagonist is so spunky and smart and funny. So I'm going to give you a little snippet of this one. I'm going to read the prologue, and I'm going to read the entire first chapter of this one. So let's go in chronological order. Why not? So here is just the prologue. So that comes before the first chapter of The Real McCoys by Matthew Swanson and Robbi Behr. If I am mispronouncing Behr, I apologize, Robbi. It could also be Beer or Burr or who knows. I have a hard last name, so I understand. All right, here is the prologue. The name's Moxie McCoy. If you didn't know already, Moxie means force of character. It means ultimate determination. It means death-defying nerve. In other words, you have been warned. I'm 10 years old. I'm in the 4th grade. I go to Tiddlywump Elementary School. And that is all you need to know about me. At least, that's all you get to know. I like to be a little mysterious, thank you very much. It helps me do what I do. So that's not the end of the prologue, but I want to show you the illustration for it. So every page is illustrated. There's Moxie flying out of a cannon, and there she is at the bottom being mysterious. So if you like books that combine prose writing with illustrations, these are going to be perfect for you. And what do? I solve problems, of course. Favorite notebook missing? I will find it. Someone took your lunch money? I'm on it. Think you might be the long-lost heir of a legendary British earl and need definitive proof? I live for the challenge. I have been trained by the best of the best, by which I mean Annabelle Adams, girl detective, protector of justice and thwarter of all things menacing or unpleasant. Annabelle's thrilling adventures contain the solution to any problem, and I have read all 58 books in the series 37 and a half times. What Annabelle knows, I know. And Annabelle knows everything. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This story hasn't actually started yet. So why am I telling you this? Because sometimes it's nice to have a taste of dessert before you start your dinner. The littlest nibble of double fudge brownie or the smallest scoop of ice cream to get you through the salad and the meatloaf and the soup, to let you know the good stuff's on the way. And there she is with a giant ice cream cone. Okay. So what happens is at her school, they have a mascot that's like an owl. I think it's a plushie, a stuffed animal, and it goes missing one morning. And Moxie is determined to figure out who stole the owl. And she decides it has to be somebody in her class. It's a very small school. She's the only class of 4th graders. And she tries to find clues, and she sneaks out of class, and she, talks to the principal and shares her information. And of course, nothing is as it seems. And a lot of her assumptions are incorrect, which leads to hilarious moments. So that is The Real McCoys. Now, first book in the Cookie Chronicles, Ben Yokoyama and the Cookie of Doom. This is also illustrated just like Real McCoys. So every page is covered in graphics. And this is chapter 1. Chapter 1. Ben Yokoyama loved noodles the most. He loved them more than cheesecake, French toast, and kiwi fruit, which he loved almost the most. I do love kiwi. He loved spaghetti noodles and udon noodles and tiny noodles shaped like stars. He loved thin noodles and wide noodles and round noodles and flat noodles. He loved any food with noodle in its name. Ben was a noodle man. "Are you ready to order?" asked his Aunt Nora, looking up from her phone. Ben was not ready to order. He'd never been to a Chinese restaurant. There were so many options. His parents preferred the Japanese restaurant, but they were home paying 3 months of bills all at once. Nora was in charge tonight. "Do they have noodles?" Ben asked. "Yes, they have noodles," said Nora, like her brain was on one planet and her mouth was on another. "There," she said, pointing to a part of the menu that said noodles. Aunt Nora had long fake fingernails on top of her regular ones. They tapped against her phone like rain on a roof. Ben wondered how hard it would be to open jars with fingernails like that. He read the list of noodle dishes. Chow mein, lo mein, dan dan, chow fun. Ben wanted to eat a noodle that was fun. Once he had decided what to order, Ben thought about what to do next. He considered writing a limerick, or whistling Clair de Lune, or folding his placemat into an origami elephant. But there was no rush. Ben was only 8 years old. He had a whole wide lifetime to do these things. So instead, he sat patiently while Aunt Nora used her phone to take a picture of her menu. By the time the waiter came, Ben had forgotten the name of the fun-sounding noodle, and he couldn't find it again in the ocean of options. 2 orders of lo mein, said Aunt Nora, and then she went back to fiddling with her phone and not talking to Ben. He didn't mind. The TV over her shoulder was showing great mountains of noodles being born in a noodle factory. It made the waiting difficult. When the actual noodles came, Ben ate them like a flame eats a piece of paper when you throw it in the fireplace. Lo mein wasn't particularly fun, but it sure was delicious. Nora ate 6 noodles. Ben knew because he counted. He couldn't understand it. "Are you going to eat the rest of your noodles?" asked Ben once his noodles were gone. But Aunt Nora didn't hear him. She was busy taking a picture of her fingernails. Ben felt sorry for Nora's noodles sitting there unloved. "Here," he said to the noodles, "I'll make you feel better." Ben took Nora's plate and ate her noodles like an anteater eats ants. He was sad that his stomach was not infinite. There is Ben down in the corner as an anteater. The waiter took their plates away and brought a tiny tray that held 2 little lumps wrapped in plastic. They looked like dried-out ravioli, which was another kind of noodle Ben loved. "What are they?" he asked. "Fortune cookies," said Nora. "They're full of wisdom." Ben was a big fan of wisdom. Nora split her cookie in 2, pulled out a tiny strip of paper, and read out loud. "Be sure to notice the wonders that surround you, or else you might miss them." "Well, that's good advice," said Ben. "It really is," said Nora, placing the strip of paper on the tiny plate and taking a picture with her phone. I think she missed the point. Ben split his cookie in 2 and found his own strip of paper inside. Here's what it said. "Live each day as if it were your last." "Oh, boy," said Ben, his mind devouring the wisdom like a black hole devours planets and stars. Well, he thinks that that fortune cookie is an actual prediction of what's going to happen. So when it says, "Be sure to live each day like it's your last," Ben thinks, "Oh my gosh, tomorrow's my last day to live." And he decides that he needs to accomplish all of these things he's always wanted to do before the day is over. And a lot of them are really funny, and some of them are sweet, and some of them are a little dangerous. And then he ropes in his best friend who lives in the neighborhood, and she wants to accomplish all of these things. This book had me laughing out loud. My daughter would say, "What's so funny?" And I'd be like, "I can't tell you. You're going to have to read the book." So if you like funny books, this one is definitely for you. So there you have it. We've got a really funny realistic fiction book and a really funny mystery, both by the same duo, Matthew Swanson and Robbi Behr. I think you will love both of them. So go ahead and track them down at your local library, your independent bookstore, your school library, and let me know what you think of them. I am guessing that you're going to love them as much as I do. And then, if you do, which I'm sure you will, you can read the rest of the books in the series. It is always so great when you fall in love with the first book in a series because you know that there are more and you don't have to say goodbye to the characters yet. All right. Until next time, happy reading.